It starts with something small. A look, a sigh, a shift in someone's tone that makes your stomach twist. You're a child, maybe 6, maybe 10, and you learn fast that love isn't something you can count on. It's something you earn. You earn it by smiling when you're sad, by saying it's okay when it's not, by keeping everyone else calm, even if it means disappearing a little each day. No one teaches you this outright. You just feel it. You sense that your peace depends on their approval, that their happiness decides your safety. And from that day forward, your nervous system builds a rule so deep it becomes your personality. If I make them happy, I'll be safe. You stop asking, what do I need? You start asking, what do they need from me? And without realizing it, you begin to perform. You perform as the good child, the helper, the friend who never complains, the one who listens, fixes, softens the edges, makes everyone else comfortable, no matter how much it costs you. People praise you for it, of course. You're so kind. You're so easy to be around. You never make things difficult. But here's the question no one asks, and I want you to really sit with this. When did being easy to love start meaning you had to stop being yourself? Because that's where it begins. That's where the people pleaser is born, not out of kindness, but out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being too much or not enough. And here's what's wild. No one ever sees this as trauma. Because on the outside, you look good. You're polite, compassionate, adaptable. But deep down, you're exhausted. You've spent years micromanaging other people's emotions so you never have to face the terror of being disliked. So let me ask you, can you remember the first time you swallowed your truth just to keep the peace? Was it worth it? Or did a small part of you disappear that day? Fast forward. You've grown up. You have a job, maybe a partner, maybe friends who think you're the calm one, the reliable one, the one who just gets it. You pride yourself on being understanding, maybe even proud that you don't cause drama. You're the one who smooths things over, says sorry first, forgives quickly, and stays quiet when others cross lines. Because somewhere deep inside, the rule still whispers, if I keep everyone happy, no one will leave. But here's the quiet tragedy. People pleasers don't actually please anyone. They perform peace while quietly drowning in resentment. You say yes when you want to say no. You comfort others while you're the one breaking inside. You make yourself small, hoping to be loved for your goodness, but deep down, you know it's not real love. It's maintenance. And the scariest part? You've worn the mask for so long that even you can't tell where the performance ends and you begin. Because when your identity has been built on being liked, you start to mistake comfort for connection. You don't notice that people love the version of you that always gives, but not the one that feels, rages, doubts, or disagrees. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I just don't want anyone to be mad at me? What you really mean is, I don't want to lose love again. You've turned harmony into survival. And the worst part? You think it's kindness. But real kindness isn't about disappearing for others. It's about showing up honestly. Sometimes kindness is saying no. Sometimes it's disappointing people to stay true to yourself. Sometimes it's realizing that peace built on silence isn't peace at all. It's submission. So I want to ask you something. When was the last time you told someone, I'm fine, when you weren't? Did you do it for them? Or to avoid losing their approval? Because every time you choose fake peace over real truth, you confirm the same old lie, that your worth depends on how much you can give and how little you can need. Here's what most people don't realize. People-pleasing isn't a personality trait. It's a nervous system strategy. It's not about being good. It's about being safe. When your body learns early that conflict means danger, raised voices, rejection, withdrawal, punishment, your brain develops a survival instinct known as the fawn response. It's the lesser-known sibling of fight, flight, or freeze. Fawning means you appease. You merge. You mold yourself into whatever keeps you out of harm's way. You read micro-expressions like a detective. You sense tension before it's spoken. You apologize for things that aren't your fault, not because you believe you're wrong, but because you're terrified of disconnection. And over time, your nervous system becomes addicted to approval. You don't even need external pressure anymore. You've internalized it. You reject yourself before anyone else can. It's like your mind keeps whispering, If I'm perfect, no one will leave. If I'm easy, I'll be loved. If I'm useful, I'll be safe. But approval is a moving target. The more you chase it, the further it runs. And here's the truth no one tells you. When your self-worth is outsourced to other people's moods, you will never rest. You start to mistake anxiety for intuition. You think the tightness in your chest means something's wrong with me, when it's really your body saying, I'm tired of pretending. So let me ask you, and be honest with yourself here. Do you know what it feels like to be loved without earning it? When was the last time you let someone care for you without performing? If that question feels uncomfortable, that's the point. Because people-pleasing isn't about generosity, it's about control. You manage other people's emotions so you never have to feel your own fear of rejection. You shapeshift because you believe love is conditional. And maybe it was once. But it doesn't have to be now. The problem is, when you spend your life trying not to upset anyone, you end up abandoning the only person who's truly yours, yourself. There comes a point when being liked stops feeling good. When every yes you didn't mean starts to echo inside you like a quiet betrayal. You smile, but it doesn't reach your eyes. You agree, but resentment blooms in your chest. You listen to everyone's pain, but no one ever seems to notice yours. And it hits you. You've built a life that looks peaceful from the outside, but inside, you're at war. Because here's the truth, people-pleasing doesn't create peace. It creates distance. No one can truly love you when you're always editing yourself to be lovable. You become surrounded by people who love your mask, not your mess. They love your calm, not your chaos. Your care, not your honesty. And every time you hide what you feel to protect a connection, you quietly destroy it. Because intimacy can't survive without truth. You tell yourself it's fine. That this is just who you are, helpful, kind, low maintenance. But if you're honest, it's not peace you feel. It's emptiness. Let's be real for a second. How many of your relationships would survive if you stopped performing? If you stopped pretending everything was okay? If you started saying, that hurt me, or I disagree? Most people pleasers never find out. Because the fear of losing people feels worse than the pain of losing yourself. So you stay, you smile, you shrink, and the resentment builds quietly like rust, until one day you realize you've spent your entire life being nice, but never truly known. But here's the thing, resentment is not hate. It's grief. It's the pain of realizing you've abandoned your own truth in the name of belonging. And that grief is sacred because it means you're waking up. It means a part of you is finally done pretending. So let me ask you one more question, and this one matters. What's the cost of your peacekeeping? How much of yourself have you given away just to keep other people comfortable? Because until you answer that honestly, you'll keep confusing being needed with being loved. There comes a point when being liked stops feeling good. When every yes you didn't mean starts to echo inside you like a quiet betrayal. You smile, but it doesn't reach your eyes. You agree, but resentment blooms in your chest. You listen to everyone's pain, but no one ever seems to notice yours. And it hits you. You've built a life that looks peaceful from the outside, but inside, you're at war. Because here's the truth, people-pleasing doesn't create peace. It creates distance. No one can truly love you when you're always editing yourself to be lovable. You become surrounded by people who love your mask, not your mess. They love your calm, not your chaos. Your care, not your honesty. And every time you hide what you feel to protect a connection, you quietly destroy it. Because intimacy can't survive without truth. You tell yourself it's fine. That this is just who you are, helpful, kind, low maintenance. But if you're honest, it's not peace you feel. It's emptiness. Let's be real for a second. How many of your relationships would survive if you stopped performing? If you stopped pretending everything was okay? If you started saying, that hurt me, or I disagree? Most people pleasers never find out. Because the fear of losing people feels worse than the pain of losing yourself. So you stay, you smile, you shrink, and the resentment builds quietly like rust, until one day you realize you've spent your entire life being nice, but never truly known. But here's the thing, resentment is not hate. It's grief. It's the pain of realizing you've abandoned your own truth in the name of belonging. And that grief is sacred because it means you're waking up. It means a part of you is finally done pretending. So let me ask you one more question, and this one matters. What's the cost of your peacekeeping? How much of yourself have you given away just to keep other people comfortable? Because until you answer that honestly, you'll keep confusing being needed with being loved. Healing from people-pleasing doesn't start with changing what you do. It starts with remembering who you are. For so long, you've been the caretaker, the fixer, the listener, the one who absorbs everyone's chaos. But underneath all of that, there's someone you've barely met. The you who doesn't say sorry for existing. The you who speaks before overthinking. The you who isn't terrified of disappointing anyone because they finally stopped disappointing themselves. That's who we're trying to find again. Not a new version of you. The real one that's been buried under years of being agreeable. And it begins with one word: no. No, I can't take that on right now. No, I don't agree with that. No, I deserve the same care I give. Every no you say is a small resurrection of your self-worth. Every boundary is a bridge back to your truth. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable at first. Your nervous system will scream. You'll feel guilt, shame, fear, because your body has mistaken peace for danger. But keep going. That's not weakness, that's rewiring. You're teaching your inner child that safety no longer depends on pleasing others. That love doesn't have to be earned through self-erasure. That your voice isn't a weapon, it's a homecoming. Let me ask you something real. What would your life look like if you stopped managing everyone else's emotions and started honoring your own? Would you speak differently? Would you rest more? Would you finally stop apologizing for needing love in return? That's where freedom begins, not in being liked, but in being real. And listen, healing doesn't mean becoming fearless or loud. It means becoming honest. It means sitting with the guilt of saying no and not letting it control you. It means forgiving yourself for the years you spent trying to be everything for everyone. So when you feel that old voice whisper, don't upset them, don't rock the boat. Remember, you are not here to be chosen by everyone. You're here to choose yourself. And maybe for the first time, that's not selfish, it's sacred. Because when you stop performing for love, you make space for love that's real. Love that doesn't demand your silence. Love that doesn't punish your truth. Love that lets you exhale. You've spent a lifetime trying to be enough for others. Now it's time to be enough for you. So, tell me in the comments, what's one thing you're no longer willing to apologize for? Because maybe your healing starts right there, with a comment, a confession, and a quiet promise to stop shrinking for love that should have seen you all along.